A homosexual.
To put it bluntly.
Yeah, I am.
Would that be you?
Yeah.
Oh. You will not use profanity in this building.
Hello, beautifuls. Welcome back to my Chanel, and welcome to another episode of World's Strictest Parents. Something just rang on my desk, and that makes me alarmed because I don't want my microphone to be like, oh. Well, my lovelies, you guys absolutely loved the very first video I did on World's Strictest Parents 1 month ago, and I think it's time to revisit this. This show is a... God, what is this show? And what isn't this show? It is almost a cruel gaslighting mastermind into a millennial upbringing, shaming teens for somewhat normal behaviour, asterisk, that's usually stemming from some sort of childhood trauma, broadcast for the entire world to see.
Oh, that's nice.
I think I gave that quite a good little... Go, girly wigs, if you do not know me, I am deranged. My name is Luxeria, a self-confessed millennial who grew up being a rebellious teenager. But my lovelies, it does get better. Unfortunately, it also has to get a lot worse before then, but it does eventually get better. So make sure you're sitting comfortably, grab yourself a beverage, pop your little hanger right into your strict hole, and let's watch World's Strictest Parents. I don't even think I'm that strict with Biscuit, although at the moment he's being a right little fusspot with his biscuits. Your little foodie Biscuit, yeah, talking about you, Biscuit. So I keep having to put them on the floor, take them away, put them on the floor, take them away, put them on the floor, until he realises he can't just squeak at the fridge for cheese. Cheese is not a meal, Barbara!
The government!
The World's Strictest... Okay, this is quite different to the one that we've seen previously. Oh, no. Atlanta, Georgia. Now, we've been seeing a lot of characters from Atlanta, Georgia recently. This, however, what you can see right here, is clearly not Atlanta, Georgia, because that's a British high street.
What is that?
Oh, Britain. What happens, girl? Walton on Thames! Shut up! I lived there.
No, I haven't woken up in the morning at all. No, I haven't.
Oh, my God.
You are the one that's turned around and said, you're bloody tired. Why are you tired? Because you stayed out the night before last. You went out last night, bloody drinking. That is why you're tired.
Okay, all right, okay. Take a step down, shall we, my lovelies? I'm not a parent, but I can't imagine yelling to get my point across to Biscuit. Although some teenagers, some of the teenagers that I was friends with and some of the times that I was a teenager, maybe a bit of yelling might have helped occasionally. So I used to live in Walton on Thames. I lived in Walton on Thames for 3.5 years. I don't remember it looking quite like that, but nevertheless.
Mum thinks I'm a druggie. My dad thinks I'm a waster, thinks I'm going to get pregnant.
What do you mean abuse my body?
The drugs and the drink, Bex.
You don't even know?
No, of course we don't even know.
We've tried absolutely everything with Bex. All different kinds of
animated
grounding,
hair.
punishing. You name it, we've done it.
I just don't like him.
Oh, do you know, this is bringing me such nostalgia. Just this tiny little glimpse into British life. How skins...
You know.
Is this outfit? How skins is this outfit? I used to wear things like this. You've got an off-shoulder top, you've got a long necklace, you've got a beat the table, beat. You've got a plaid open shirt, you've got a handbag in your crook of your elbow, you've got a one-length haircut and a dream. And it was getting paralytic in the park with your friends of a weekend. I don't actually know when this episode is from, but my goodness me, this is like late 2000s. Glam.
You name it, we've done it.
Have you tried maybe treating her as an adult and letting her experience reality?
Are you home tonight?
I don't know.
Bex and boys. She's a dog on eat.
Round my head, is it so nice?
No! Stop it, naughty!
I shag most of them.
Stop it.
I like to have a bit of a drink.
Where's the other bottle?
Pick her up, put her in a convent, and she'd be buggered, wouldn't she?
To her parents' dismay, her partying lost Bex her place at college and her job.
Okay, well, clearly then that is bad, isn't it? You can't lose your placement. You can't become, what's the word? What's the phrase they use now? NEET. Not in employment, education or training. NEET. Is this what people do? Neating? Are we neating?
Absolutely not.
Already, we are experiencing such a difference in comparison to the last episode, which kind of had some troubled teens from the USA, but they were just that, you know, teens with a troubled past. Here we're seeing very, very British teenagers being unruly and feral. Sorry, I said it. Not all of us were unruly and feral, but a lot of us were. And I'm sure a lot of you are going to reach out in the comments below and let me know just how unruly and feral you were, because I know I was from time to time.
And her job.
I'm never dropping a VHS again.
I can't be bothered to get up and go to work. Or go to college.
She's completely and utterly lost. She is an alien.
But also, like, environment.
Yeah, Chesden spends a lot of time doing his hair. Every little hair has got a bit in the right place.
Oh, we've got a little MySpace emo kid. Okay.
Look like a twat, but at least I'm happy. You know what I mean?
Look like a twat, but happy.
Chesden came out to his mum when he was 13.
Oh, we've got a little
It don't
homosexual.
bother me in being gay at all.
Good, as it shouldn't.
But he's behaving like a tart.
Okay, so the gay's not the problem, being a tart is the problem. Unfortunately, in queer culture, quite often we are repressed up to a certain age, and then when we finally do come out and experience our true, authentic selves, you know, there is a whirlwind of emotions. Not making an excuse, just an observation.
Tart.
Oh, well,
Chesden enjoys shocking people with his exploits.
right.
We got
Wearing a bra.
and we got really drunk and ended up having sex with each other and...
Chesden's mum, Sylvia, is seriously ill with heart
he on the
disease,
stairs?
but that doesn't stop him from treating her like a personal servant.
Oh, no.
3 years ago, I had a heart attack. I couldn't get stressed, so I let things go. Instead of getting stressed and shouting, I started to let things slide a bit, and I think that's why now he thinks he can do as he pleases, and you don't have to help out or do anything.
God!
I wouldn't say I boss my mum around, but I do like getting my own way.
Looks a bit
I
hungover.
sometimes wash up if my mum pays me, and then I sometimes get paid for washing up and don't do it.
You see, there is a unique issue, isn't there, that we're seeing here, and it is just that these teenagers cannot see beyond their own edge of the world. Does that make sense? Their realm is almost seeing authority figures as oppressive figures, which isn't always the case, but my goodness me, I had a troubled upbringing. I had a disabled parent, and that absolutely affected the dynamics of my family, and I had to grow up pretty fast, and I'm still, to this day, struggling with hyper-independence as a trauma response to my upbringing. Heavy sentences here in the world, my lovely, but I wasn't the nicest person as a teenager. I had a lot of baggage about being trans, I had a lot of baggage about being attracted to men, and I had a lot of bad reaction energy to my family who were trying to, in a strange way, bring me up in a very boomer mindset in which I did not grow up in a boomer world. In fact, I was lost, and lost people behave erratically. So I'm going to try and remind myself to look at it through those eyes, but also, take it from me, I would do anything now to take a year off the end of my life, to have a year as I am now, back when my mum was still here, and I feel like I wasted a lot of it with my troubled teenage years. But we're gonna try and keep it a bit light to stay in the studio, try and keep it light, a girly wig.
Very lazy.
Chesden has no contact with his dad, who left before he was born.
Shaking. Okay, right.
I don't
So
really think I needed
have
that.
we got traditional fatherless
I've got my
behaviour?
mum,
Is this what the issue
and
is?
that's all I need, really. It's like, you don't miss what you've never had.
That's true,
Careful
you
you
know.
don't ruin that shirt.
He does seem to be shaking, and I'm wondering
Both
if that's
families have
perhaps an alcohol
decided to
reaction.
send their troubled teens away to spend 8 days in the American South with parents who demand obedience.
Oh God, right, here we
I love
go.
you.
Love you.
Hopefully this isn't
Bye,
a brat camp
Bex.
situation.
Bit like
Right.
she'll come
Atlanta,
back.
Georgia, girl.
Our old Bex.
Maybe, yeah.
We get on with our lives.
Oh, they're so
I
British.
want Chesden to learn something from this experience, and
I'm hoping
nice
that
red
he's
coat.
going to learn to show me more respect.
Is that Gatwick?
Right.
Is this Gatwick Airport?
I'm Ches.
Okay. All right. Well, they had a nice meal. That was a bit nicer than the last time. The last time the other teens met each other, they were like, I don't really like them. But here we've got kind of a towny dress girl and an alternative emo gay kid. I wonder what's gonna happen next, girly wig. It could be the unsung friendship of the century. I remember occasionally there was a towny girl who was just lovely.
The British teens
Oh, right,
will be flying
okay.
4,200 miles to Atlanta, Georgia.
Oh, is this gonna be a heavily
Many of the
religious
city's
episode?
population are devout Christians.
Okay.
Wanda is a school administrator, and David is a Baptist preacher.
Okay, well, first of all, religion should never be involved in anything, as far as I'm concerned. I do not think that religion teaches a healthy mindset and boundary to navigating a world which is not governed by a god. However, I do think an aspect of spirituality is very necessary, being a human being experiencing life on this planet. I do think we should respect our surroundings, understand how humanity has developed itself to here and where it can go forwards. And I do not believe that invisible sky bestie who deeply cares about what you do behind closed doors by yourself, yet also can't cure children's cancer, is viable. I do not believe it is a viable option. You know, in the last episode, they were also religious, and it was a good episode. So there's lots of character. Very characterful.
The Kimbros believe in the divine right of parents to chastise their children.
Okay, well, that's just abuse with extra words.
Is God. It's important for us to be able to instill that in our children. And secondly, for our children to walk in obedience. Obedience to God, first and foremost, and obedient to us as their parents.
I think I have a problem with
Wanda
homosexuality.
Kimbrough demands that her children treat her like a queen.
Make sure you get all of the dishes washed and that they're washed well. I'm not just the queen, I'm the homework queen. Do not come back until you have checked your answers.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I mean, a strong parent can be a good
one
parent.
of the worst things our kids can do is to lie to us.
We don't believe in
Lie.
smoking, we don't believe in drinking, we don't believe in using profanity, and just things of that nature that so many people in society think are no big deal. They are a big deal to us.
I mean, I do sort of see the point there. I do think that when it comes to substances of an adult nature, they need to be monitored. You need to monitor your intake so that you don't end up in a situation which you don't want to be in, but also humans learn from making their own mistakes. I only think that the best thing that you can do as a parent or as someone who is perhaps a pillar of community is lead by example and be a good role model who listens to problems. Unfortunately, when you shut things down and just say, it is the way it is, because I said so, obey me, these do not allow personal growth. And to be a human on this planet is to realize you are merely borrowed molecules from the universe experiencing its own creation.
For the next 8 days, Chesden and Bex will have their lives dictated by the Kimbro's
Black
strict
Jesus is
moral code.
An interesting morality. Right. Oh, is it going to be
After their
good?
9-hour flight to Atlanta,
9
it's
hours?
already clear that Chesden and Bex have plenty in common.
Why are people strict in the first place?
So that the kids don't end up like us.
Well, perhaps. Perhaps. I mean, it's self-aware queen. McMansions, left and right.
Business around here.
Yeah. It's like Desperate Housewives.
It is.
They're going to be so warped, aren't they? They're going to be typical Yanks.
Thanks. Is that a slur?
Oh, that is so disgusting.
I'm so sorry.
You know, you can fart all you want, but when people burp, it actually makes me heave.
Okay, well that's...
Cigarette.
These are the most British examples of teenagers ever. Do you know what? World's Strictest Parents has really come out of the woodwork this time because this is, in fact, very British. Right, here they are. Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I hope they allow his personality to thrive. That judgment didn't look too good, did it?
Nice to meet you.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Wanda.
Can we have a cigarette here?
Excuse me?
Can we have a cigarette here?
Oh, no.
Oh, we've been in the car for so long.
Do both of you do you smoke?
Yeah.
Oh, we don't do cigarettes. We don't do any smoking at all.
On the ground.
I'll get you some gum.
Can you just
Chaz,
No, oh, I don't know about this.
Chaz, I promise
Chase, can you save me on that, please?
Saves me means you give me when you're finished.
chase you. I won't chase you, but you're gonna need more than this rain to put out the fire if you like that cigarette. You want to start this trip being defiant? No! Put it out. You're not getting off to a good
Oh,
start.
I don't know
with the
about all
Kimbros.
this. Yeah,
That
I
would be
mean,
your
like,
last.
in the UK, back in this day and age, you could smoke and from 16 years old. So I don't think it's possible now. I think you actually have to be 18. And I'm pretty sure there's like a generation now that will never be able to smoke in their lives. But I don't know how I feel about like forcefully taking something off of someone. I don't know. Is that different in America? You're not allowed to smoke until 18. Interesting.
Your last cigarette.
That's an empty pack, by the way.
Okay.
Oh, I
and
don't
if you
know.
got more,
Yeah.
they're gonna be empty by the time you leave.
Oh, I don't know about...
That's what we do in Atlanta.
I don't know
The
about...
teens have made an immediate impression on the Kimbrough
Oh, I don't
boys.
know. I don't like the idea of
thought
like
my mom-
physical interaction.
I
don't
could
think
tell
that-
she was trying to restrain her anger, Because if that was anybody else, she would have probably killed them. I probably would get a whooping or probably get kicked out. I'd probably have to go find somewhere to live, probably.
I'm sorry, but if love has conditions, that is not unconditional love. Oh, I don't know, I'm getting interesting vibes in this episode. I'm trying to be open-minded, girly wigs.
So when you walked in the door, there was an angel assigned to you. And when you walked across the threshold, you became a part of our family.
Okay.
Wanda is apparently not aware that she has ever met an openly gay person.
I'm a pretty boy.
That can't be true.
A pretty boy.
A pretty boy.
A boy that's pretty.
A boy that's pretty. A pretty boy.
Yeah.
Well, in America, pretty boy may mean something slightly different
What does it
than
mean?
it does in the UK.
What does pretty boy mean in America?
Pretty boy in America means that
Here we go.
pretty boy means that you are,
Gay.
A homosexual.
to put it bluntly.
Yeah, I am.
Would that be you?
Yeah.
Oh.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna like bomb in your house or anything.
Oh, we're not concerned about that.
No.
We're not concerned about that. We're not concerned about you doing anything that you don't have permission to do.
All right. So they're either acting or they are actually insane. Like no one can actually be
This
like
is
that. I just
such a
don't
culture
believe them.
clash. Such a culture clash. This is wild to experience. I am getting vibes. And the vibes are very stressful. My heart rate is like. How would a devout Christian family deal with me if I was like, excuse me, we need to talk?
My wife is a transsexual Satan worshiper.
Well, they're just not all there. Let's just tell it they're just like not the full ticket at all.
Let me get the two of you to have a seat over here for me, and
What, on this table?
yeah, at that table, the formal table for the formal.
The Kimbros call a meeting.
Every civilized society, there are rules for which we are to conduct ourselves. So that's what this meeting is all about. So
Wanda and David want to make their expectations as clear as possible.
Okay.
We're gonna give you the home rules contract for the Kimbrough family.
A contract. Very interesting.
You don't have to
Yes,
commit
ma'am.
anything
Yes,
to
sir.
memory. There is a consequence for every action, so we want you to think before you act. So
education is extremely important in the Kimbrough home. You are expected to maintain no less than a B+ average in every class.
You know,
profanity is used by...
You know, I am all for education. I do think instilling the importance of education in teenagers and young people is very important. So, all right, rule 1, kind of agree with.
Average in every class.
Profanity is used by people with limited vocabularies.
That's not true.
And people with the inability to intelligently express their displeasure.
That is not true.
The Kimbrough family is highly intelligent and only uses language that illustrates our intelligence. Would you please
Remains to
move
be
the clipboard
seen.
because I want to be able to see your facial expressions. Thanks. When you are being reprimanded or corrected, you are required to respond. Yes, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, sir. No, sir.
This is
There
power
is no
trippy.
smoking.
It's a little bit power trippy. And also, depending on how devout one's beliefs are, depending on which version of the Bible you read, depends on how certain people in a household can behave. Let's just say that. Interesting. The Bible is not very woman-friendly in the slightest. It's also not very POC-friendly. So, right.
There is no smoking. There is no drinking. All of that is strictly
Drinking is technically
prohibited.
illegal for them, right?
Christianity is very important to the Kimbrough family. We encourage every family member to foster a personal relationship with God. This family attends church
I don't agree.
2 times.
You can't just bring random strangers into your house and force them.
This family attends church 2 times per week.
Okay.
Your attendance is not optional.
Oh, well, that's a
can't
problem.
believe that people actually live like this. It's just it's so different from our life.
We need you to sign the copies that are before you.
Oh, no. You can't make children sign under duress. What an absolute nonsense. You cannot make people sign contracts under duress. Absolute nonsense. This is not binding. Silly nonsense. Drama for reality TV. Also, if the word of God was so good, why'd you have to force people to listen?
8-day stay. Chesden and Bex's behaviour will
8
be
days.
subject to the Kimbro's 1,000-word contract.
All them rules. There was 4 pages of rules. 4 pages. And they've all got their own
I wonder if they're like besties now.
Verbal communication.
Yeah, but it's not bad.
Oh my God.
They will break.
The reality is, if these teens' parents have brought their teens onto this show in order to make like a positive impact on their lives, this feels like that's not going to happen. This episode specifically feels like we're just doing this for reality TV. I mean, obviously, this feels like it's going to be just filled with explosive drama from a religious persecution point of view, and I can't abide by this, girly wigs. You can live a wonderful, fruitful, beautiful, moral life by not having to worry that some ambivalent creature from beyond the clouds is going to punish you for eternity in fire because he loves you.
Oh my God.
They will break before we break because we are not quitters.
Okay, right. Well,
the teens may have
let's
put
watch.
pen to paper, but they're
That is
not in the
such a big
habit of
house,
playing
isn't it?
by the rules.
Such a huge house. So they're very sports? Is that some sort of sporting thing? Trophies? Sports ball? Oh God, right, here we are. And the cameras are like, ah! She's shaking. Is there something wrong? Or is it just cold? Maybe it's cold.
If you're
Spitting off a
there,
balcony,
it's not-
very unpleasant.
They're actually really shocked. Like, they think we're really naughty and stuff.
Oh, this is, yeah, I don't know. Okay, they have said no smoking in the house. You are on the balcony, like throwing littering off of the balcony. That is, you know, I would say that's not great behaviour in the slightest, really. But I do wonder if production are like, go on, be naughty, because they're filming them here. Like, there's an entire production crew on this balcony watching them do this. There would have been a little storyline producer or something making sure that this scene went well and got views and got us to engage with it by being like, why don't you go on the balcony and just be naughty?
We're drunk. Really drunk.
Oh God, right, here we go. Only 11 minutes in now, I haven't stopped talking.
Okay, it's not
Cat food?
I can't know what the smelly stuff.
Get it out.
Cross-dressing. Hello, we're just standing by the Davenport.
Why do we smell smoke?
Right.
No.
Look at that TV.
I've been pretty cool, calm, and collected, but you really don't want to make me angry. So it seems to me somebody's been smoking. Did you step out on the balcony? Did it blow back in? Please tell me you wasn't smoking in my home.
I'm not smoking.
So why do we smell smoke?
Well, it might be because I've opened my suitcase, because half the stuff in there is like
Oh, okay.
smoked.
You sure?
Well, yeah.
Just so that you know, I am livid. And I'm livid because I think that you're being untruthful. And I don't believe the crap for one moment that you opened your bag and that much smoke came out of your bag. And what I expect most of all is for you to be truthful. And I don't believe that you're being truthful. You did not just open your bag and the smell of smoke came out.
I mean, she's got a point.
That is a lie. So admit that it was a lie.
She's got a point.
It was a lie.
Were you smoking in here?
Not on the balcony.
That's terrible. That's disappointing. That's after you
Yeah, this-
clearly understood the rules.
There is no smoking inside the house.
Or on
There
these
is no
grounds.
smoking outside the house. There is no smoking in America as far as you're concerned.
Well, that is too far. You are now power tripping. If they are of age, they are allowed to engage as individuals.
Concerned.
The land of the free seems to be
That
not
is
quite so.
utterly disrespectful. Do you understand that as long as you are in America, under my authority, under our authority, there will be no smoking?
This is a bit
Do you
intimidation.
understand
though.
that?
Yeah.
This is
Yes,
aggressive
ma'am.
intimidation.
Yes, Mum.
No?
Do you understand that, Bex?
Yes, Mum.
Interesting.
Privacy is a
Interesting.
privilege in the Kimbrough household.
Oh, well, that's
Wanda
not
and
right.
David inspect their sons' rooms regularly. It'll be no different for Ches and Bex.
They just get better at hiding stuff.
Ches, are you gonna wait in your room?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Being like
Ooh, I don't
told
know.
what to do and like
You can't touch my things. Sorry. You can't touch my things. I'm interested to know what kind of safety measures would have been implemented during the filming of this season, because this feels so much more invasive than the last episode that we saw. If you're going through my private things and I have private belongings and you decide that that is not acceptable for your arbitrary rules and you take something from me, that is theft. I wonder what the contracts would have been like from a reality TV point of view, because It's stressful. Stressful, girls.
Being like told what to do and like you are a child, you're not important, you don't matter. Basically.
It is interesting that like,
It's just like
you're a child in America until 21, and I know people say like, no, that's not true. You're an adult at 18, but you can't drink till 21. As far as I'm concerned, if there's still an age limit on you being able to participate in something in society, the law sees you as a child. In the UK, 18 for everything. 18 is an adult, and you are able to drink. You are able to go to clubs. You are able to smoke. You are able to choose your career. You are able to choose your education. You're able to do anything from the age of 18 with no age limits. Bizarro land.
You're not important, you don't matter, basically. And it's just like, I don't know. It kind of makes you feel like shit, to be honest.
Yes, because it's a control
Kimbros
method.
believe that teenage girls should dress modestly.
Right, why?
Bex doesn't.
Why?
What is this?
A skirt.
I want to know
Where's
how
the
old
rest
they
of
are.
it? Why do you need a condom?
Well, if you like go out and then you have sex.
So you're sexually active?
Yeah.
Are you married?
No.
Well, we believe that sex is reserved for married people.
This is unacceptable. You cannot impose a religious law on someone who has no interest in your religion. Sorry, no. Already. Boop, boop. No, no.
We believe that sex is reserved for married people.
Chesden leaves the house
you can believe that.
without permission.
You're allowed, if you believe that, that's fine.
He was gone before I knew it. I heard the door close, and then I went.
Hey, Chaz.
Yes.
I'm actually shaking. I'm not angry.
He has been shaking a lot. I wonder if there is something going on that we're not privy to.
I'm still glad I came, because it's experience, and I'll learn from it. But at the moment, all I've learned is that black Christians are insane. That's all I've learned.
Okay, I mean...
You took a trip?
That's a bit of a strong
You know
statement.
you did that without permission?
You could just say Christians are insane.
And while you were out walking,
Devout
getting
Christians.
breath, you had another smoke?
Yeah, because I
You
was
got cigarettes
stressed.
on you?
No.
How did you like the cigarette?
What?
You got a lighter on you?
No.
How did you like the cigarette?
I've got matches on there.
Okay, let me have them.
I'm not giving you one.
You're giving me the matches.
This is my...
No.
Yes, you are.
I'm not.
Okay. I'm not gonna ask
Intimidation
you again.
tactic.
You're
Step
in my
in.
house. And we don't have matches in my house.
I'm not giving you my lighter match or anything.
You are going to give me your matches.
Oh, I don't agree with this.
Yes, you are.
Step
No,
off,
I'm not,
sir.
though.
Step away.
Okay.
Keep your personal
You
distance.
want to push me there? You want to take me there?
He should...
Yeah.
You're in my house.
I'm not going to give you the matches.
Yes, you are.
No, no.
Okay, you want me to take them?
Okay, part of me is like, yes, stand your ground, go ahead, girl. But I will say, remove yourself from this situation because there is no way that you are safe in this current situation, is there? I don't see safety here. Do you see safety here? I see no safeguarding. No one has stepped in to make sure that this man won't attack this teenager. No one has done that.
Okay, you want me to take them? Because I will if I have to.
That's physical force, can't
I
do
don't
that.
care. Yes, I can. You're in my house, and you're a child. You're a minor. In the U.S., you have to do what an adult says.
No, you don't.
You
what
are
are you
a
talking
minor.
about?
You're not grown. And in my
What are you
house,
talking about?
if I ask for matches, you got to give them to
You
me.
do not have to.
So now I'm going to give you a chance
This
to
would be a
cooperate.
lawyer's fantasy, surely.
You're not in the UK. You're in my home.
You're also being filmed.
Now give them up.
This could be evidence in court.
Right, I won't put them in your house then.
Yes,
I'm
keep them
sorry?
outside. They
I
are
didn't
yours.
Put the
understand
matches
that.
in your house.
You don't need matches in my house. Give them up.
Do you really think no one's going to have a lighter in America?
Yeah, plenty of people have lighters and matches in America. But what I expect of you is to be obedient.
Dislike, girl, dislike.
Quite unbelievable that two teenagers that met 24 hours ago could band together and wreak the havoc in one home that they have managed.
It feels like this is the end
This
of the
isn't about
trip.
havoc.
And yet, it's the first day.
Yeah, if this was
can't
me, I would
believe
just
that.
leave this scenario. But not only that, if I was the parent of someone in this, I'd be like, clearly this isn't actually helping. This isn't actually doing anything worthwhile. I've just seen my child be intimidated on TV and told that they're going to be, like, physically intimidated and attacked for not giving up a personal possession. I'm not into that. Not into that at all, girly wigs. No.
I'm actually just gonna die.
Also, nicotine addiction and cutting it off is not, you know, the best. Going cold turkey is not the best option when addiction is involved. Right, okay.
Day 2, and it's another first for Ches and Bex. Rather than getting ready to go out partying, they're getting ready to go to church.
Are those navy or black?
Never.
Okay, the ones you have on are better.
All right.
Cool.
Okay.
Can you come downstairs?
For the Kimbros, it's essential that their new children make a good impression on the congregation.
Just remember that you're representing us, and remember that our roles there, we're not just parishioners. We are the head. That's the pastor over there.
She has a control thing, doesn't she? She likes control. That's the whole point. She loves being in control, and people that suddenly are faced with people who do not care for their control get very alarmed. What's that famous phrase about authority and person? Okay, the only instance I can find of this is actually a tweet on X, but you know, we don't go there. But listen to this. Sometimes people use respect to mean treating someone like a person, and sometimes they use it to mean treating someone like an authority. For some, if you don't respect me, I won't respect you, means if you don't treat me like an authority, I won't treat you like a person. And I do kind of feel like we might be seeing that here. In a case of, if you do not treat me with authority, I will not see you as a human. And I feel like that is the basis of all Abrahamic religions.
We are the head. That's the pastor over there. I'm his wife. And what people think about us as the leaders and our children is very important.
Well, then I won't go.
We're stuck in America.
I'm ready for group, Dad. I'm so
with some
tired.
religious freaks, yeah.
I think the Bible's a lot of shit. I think it's a lot of stoners that have probably just thought, oh yeah, we'll make some money out of this.
It goes beyond a personal relationship with God to help you navigate the world. It seeps into control over other humans, which I just simply cannot
Sunday
abide
is a
by.
big day in Atlanta. There are over 1,000 places of worship in the city, and many of them are Baptist churches.
Baptist.
The Kimbros own
does the
their
Baptist
own
mean?
church. Their
They
services
own a
last for
church.
3 hours, and they regard disrespectful behaviour as an offence to God.
Well,
They've never been to church.
Did God kill children in the Bible? Yes. Yes, he did. So how does that match with one's beliefs?
They've never been to church. So this is going to be a great experience for
If
them.
they've been in the UK
Feels like
and
church
brought
is
up in
gonna-
state schools, they will have gone to
church is gonna be
church.
good.
The teens' holy marathon begins with Sunday school.
Right.
I'll see you guys in about 20 minutes, okay?
What's
Have you guys heard about children of Israel? Have you read the Bible before?
Today's lesson is a detailed analysis of the book of Ezekiel.
You guys know what an idol is? What? Do you know what an idol is?
Yes.
Like American Idol.
Unknown to the teens, Wanda's office computer is linked up to the church's security cameras.
You
So
awake?
we've got personal invasion of privacy.
You awake? Okay. Now, I want to tell you, you want to pay attention because when we go upstairs, we stand in front of everybody and we review our lesson. So, everybody says one thing about the lesson, and
It's really so unbelievable, and the whispering that they're doing is kind of driving me insane.
Do you not have more important things to do?
since they have been
It's like I feel like they're plotting.
what's going to have a question?
See, here I have a bit of a belief that if this family's children had to go on a show similar to this and had to go and experience any other religion, or atheism perhaps, agnosticism, or perhaps, what about Satanism?
Praise Satan!
I wonder if they would have as much zeal.
What's going to have a question?
I think we should go to a satanic Bible reading.
You want to come sit right here?
And we will have a lesson afterwards about the satanic
No,
Bible.
not yet. We almost done. All right, we got about 10 more minutes, okay?
See, the irony is not lost on me. I understand that church for a lot of people is a sense of community and a sense of belonging. And fundamentally as humans, we need that social construction. We need to feel part of a community. We need to feel part of an in-group. A big issue that I have when it comes to this scenario is people using divine right as a way of saying, we as a community are just better than the rest of you, and you have to obey this community. That's where I'm like, because if these teenagers in the UK are under 18, that means they're not adults. That means they can't consent to something like this, which means their parents would have consented on their behalf. I then don't see that as anything else than conversion therapy. And would you send your children to religious conversion therapy?
10 more minutes, okay?
You need to go now.
Grab that. You can grab that. Scoot down on mine.
I do think there is something you could learn from everything.
Jeffrey?
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Chad, where are you going?
Leaving. Run into the woods. I mean,
in the trees. All this God shit. We're prisoners.
Can't believe I'm stood in the fucking forest in the rain, trying to have a with a Bible on my head. It's ridiculous.
I have no appreciation for spending my Sunday morning of worship. I have absolutely no appreciation for spending my Sunday morning chasing two disorderly, disruptive
I think you do enjoy
teenagers
it.
in the rain.
I think you do enjoy it because you like order and people listening.
None.
By running out of church, the teens have offended everything the Kimbros hold dear.
They haven't done anything terrible, have they? Have these teens done anything so
You
reprehensible?
disobeyed my order. I took you to the classroom, and that's where I
Smoking.
expected you to stay.
It was boring.
I don't care if it's boring. You don't get to choose what you do.
Well, we did, didn't we?
We just couldn't take any longer, so we need to go out.
Taking any longer, you were only there for 5 minutes.
Is there a mirror? My hair's a mess.
You don't get a mirror. You chose to go sit out in the rain, so whatever fool you look like, that's what you're gonna look like to the people that meet you for the first time.
I don't like a filler, I just don't look as good.
Okay, well, you don't look as good. You're right.
I'm just bored and fed up. This is just so shit.
It's actually quite comfy, isn't it?
Look at me. Don't use profanity in this sanctuary. Every place in this building, sit up. Take your arm down and sit up.
No.
You will.
No, I won't.
You will.
No, I won't.
You will not use profanity in this building. You will not. Let's go.
My goodness, God, my heart rate's gone up and up and up and up and up. This intimidation tactic. Unacceptable.
God is working on the inside of you. Guilt comes as a result for you to look at your way.
Why does this feel like conversion through force? And is that, what do we have a word for that, conversion through force? I think we do.
Ches and Bex are made to sit through the remaining 2 hours of the service.
2 hours is a long service, isn't it?
Sin is sin. Wrong is wrong. Ain't no big sin and no little sin. All sin is sin.
It's all about the evils of drinking,
Isn't
smoking,
pride
and
a
sex
sin?
outside marriage.
Yeah, isn't
For
pride a
Chesden,
sin?
it's a
To be
foreign
prideful?
language.
Like, I can't change being gay, can't change who I am. Plus, I
Yes.
think the temptation of sex and drinking is just too much, really. They're very sheltered, like, and they don't understand. I literally doubt half of the people in there have ever been laid.
The Kimbrough.
Okay, all right, okay. I mean, you don't need to be laid in order to accept that other types of people exist in society.
The Kimbros treat Chesden and Bex to lunch in a restaurant.
Okay.
Lord, we thank you for this food we're about to receive. We pray you bless it and allow it to be nourishment for these wonderful bodies you've given us.
It's an opportunity to find out more about the teens' lives back in Britain.
Yeah, that's...
Do you have a boyfriend?
Do we have more of a community aspect
No.
here?
I went out with a boy for 2 years, and then we split up 2 years ago.
For 2 years. When did you start dating?
I was 13.
13?
So she's 17, I think.
Like, when I bring guys home, and I asked her, like, why she doesn't ever talk to them proper, she said it's because she knows I don't keep them.
So at 16, you have open gay relationships.
No, not open. Like, I don't cheat on people or anything like that.
No, she mean
No, I mean,
publicly,
no,
mean
not-
other people know about it.
I mean, it's not a part
Because
of
it's
like a
not
secret
shameful to be gay.
Kind of thing. It's just right out in the open.
Yes.
And your family, everyone.
As is natural.
Yeah.
I'm just in shock that you're so carefree about it. Usually a person's sexual experiences, especially when they're not married, they're usually private. You know, the teenagers here, if they're sexually active and things like that, they're trying to keep it private. They're not, you know, on for God and everybody to see and hear.
I will agree with that. I do think I have heard a little bit too much about the escapades of these teenagers. I do think there is an aspect of a private life and a public life that what she's talking about here can exist peacefully. I think you can have a private life and a public life without making both of them so intertwined. So I understand that. I completely understand that.
God and everybody to see.
Religious shame is also
This has been a really good dinner.
I bet it has.
Okay.
Real good discussion.
We still have all of our food in front of us. We lost our appetites.
If we'd have told them like how many people we'd slept with, like at what age, they would have actually just died. And like,
I think they
can you imagine?
We should try that.
It's a culture shock, isn't it? This is the point. It is a culture
I think they've
shock.
become a lot more comfortable with sharing their feelings and their opinions. And if we're going to make an impact on them, I think we have to first connect with them.
Who knew? Connecting with people allows a social reciprocation of comfortability. Who knew? Where did you learn that, girl?
My guard is up. I am not as, I guess, optimistic as David is, because I feel as though they've said great things to my face, and they smile, and it's yes, ma'am, and they're just so sweet.
Well, what do you want the outcome to be? Do you want them to fully have a broken spirit that only obeys you? Is that what they want?
Hyde.
Mrs. Hyde.
Tomorrow, there'll be another challenge. Chesden and Bex will be going to school.
God, here we go. School.
School is going to be different.
Gonna be disastrous.
School?
I can
Have
feel
they
it in
would
my
have finished
bones.
school
I mean,
in the
every
UK,
time she
right?
says, "Are we going to school?" I just think the embarrassment is gonna be so great. It's gonna be headline news.
Upstairs, Chesden and Bex are preparing for school by packing a secret stash of cigarettes.
That's just ridiculous. Too much smoking is happening in these young people's lives, girl! I am less than halfway through this episode and I have stopped to rant far too many times because I'm at an hour of filming already and I've got another well over half an hour to go.
Well, that was silly.
The Kimbros have insisted that the British teens follow their new school's uniform regulation.
Oh, right. Uniform? A shirt? Cross-dressing?
The Kimbros run a primary school together. David is the head, Wanda is the administrator.
Oh, well, surely that's conflict of interest.
Is very important to my husband, very important.
What
to
type
me.
of education?
We really feel, though, as though that if a person doesn't have a great education, then their quality of life is compromised.
Do you know, I agree
The
with
British
that.
teens aren't the most promising of pupils.
I agree.
Before Bex dropped out of college, she was on the point of being thrown out. And Chesden has
What
had
was she in
several
college
formal
for?
warnings from his teachers.
Hi, guys.
Good morning.
Yeah, what were they doing in education?
Okay.
Wanda Kimbrough.
All right, Mommy and Daddy.
Mommy and Daddy.
Bex Kimbrough.
Bex Kimbrough.
Okay, Chaz. Guys,
Oh, I would not take
collars
on the
have
last
to be buttoned
name.
appropriately. No. Not a fashion show, so.
I just really need you to express to their teachers what our expectations are.
Okay.
We have zero tolerance for our children misbehaving in class.
Ready? Let's go. Tell them bye.
I don't like this sudden like ownership language, like our children, like they're not your children.
It costs over £6,000 a year to study at the Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy. They have a 100%
Christian
success rate
Academy?
of getting their pupils into university, and they pride themselves on their hands-on approach to science.
You all are going to be joining a biology lab today.
Ooh, biology!
The first lesson is on animal anatomy, and the British teens are in for a bit of a shock.
Right, animal anatomy.
The pupils work in pairs to dissect unborn pigs.
Why? For what reason? This is
Bex
foul.
objects.
Just don't like it. It's like, that's a baby pig, yeah? Obviously. And you're saying it's already dead, but that's just like, if one of you lot had, like, obviously only the girls had a miscarriage, oh, the baby's already dead, let's just open it up and, like, see what we can find. I just don't agree with it.
You should be able to fundamentally do that.
All right.
But their escape route is blocked by lead teacher, Sister Patrice.
I do think you should be able to conscientiously object to things like dissection of formerly living beings. Also, entirely beside the point, who is regulating these schools and who is like regulating to make sure that these children are properly and adequately looked after without the threat of fear in a daily life? Creating fearful children does not create healthy adults.
Sister Patrice.
Chase,
You can't go in the boys' bathroom. Anthony. You know exactly what?
She should be able to just, like...
It was too much for me.
Yeah, have some water
I
outside.
dissected a pig, and I felt ill, and I needed some fresh air.
Did you ask your instructor for fresh air? We don't walk out of class.
Well, I was going to be sick, so I'd rather be sick outside than be sick in the classroom at the end of the day. Can you let go of my arm, please? Let go of my arm.
Young lady, let me make something absolutely clear to you.
Yeah, don't touch me.
You are in our environment.
Yeah, you don't get to touch other people, though.
That means you must submit to the rules.
What, so you rather me be sick in the classroom?
No, ask the teacher to be excused.
Whatever.
If you need to be excused, ask your instructor.
I don't know about this. I do think, you know, permission in this situation is necessary, but also...
She feels a little nauseous, but she didn't ask your permission. She needs to ask permission before she walks out of the class.
Okay.
We're fair. Do you understand me?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And don't switch your neck at me. You're messing with the wrong one.
What are you going to do?
What would I do? What would you do?
Well, I'd knock you out, but obviously I can't.
No, you absolutely cannot.
Obviously.
Stop drinking while I'm talking to you.
No.
Let's go.
Oh! Get your hands off me!
Off my arm.
Let's go.
Don't touch me.
You better get out of here.
Don't pinch me.
Let's go.
Yeah, we have a thing in the UK that's like if someone ever puts their hand on you, it is assault. So... This is very interesting that we're seeing this level of, like, blatant disregard for a human right here.
Let's go.
If a teacher in the UK put their hand on a student, it would be national news.
Stop
Do you absolutely think that I'm going to allow you to disrupt my class?
Wait, your class then. Keep pinching me.
Oh, I will pinch you.
No,
don't
you
get
don't
confused.
pinch me. Who the hell do you think you are?
I am Sister Patrice, and you are not stepping this entire environment and ruining it.
What gives you the right to pinch me? I can't be dealing with dissecting pigs at the end of the day.
That's absolutely fine, but how do you expect to be a doctor without learning how to dissect?
I don't want to be a bloody doctor.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Who said that?
Me? I don't want to be a doctor.
You don't know what you're going to be yet.
Well, no, I don't want to be a doctor.
How do you know?
Because I think I'd know if I want to be a doctor.
Yeah, you would already know by 17 in the UK.
You're going to have to push through what's uncomfortable.
Interesting.
I said all you had to do was speak with your instructor. He's very fair.
It is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
I just have strong feelings about, like, the pig and everything. And I know I could have asked the teacher to go out and get some fresh air, but I felt so, like, you know, when you just get so much, like... It gets so, like, where this is, like, a new experience as well, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Like, coming in from England, and then, thank you, and then, like, you come here, and then, there's a pig on the table.
It is shocking.
I just wanted to get some fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
That's all it was.
But you don't have to run out. That's what little children do. You're 17.
No, we're not doing all that.
I don't expect you to act like a little child.
Removing yourself from a situation is not childlike behaviour.
Temper tantrum like a 2-year-old. Lay out on the floor and expect to be respected. It's not like that, sweetheart. Let's learn how to be a big girl, because at 17, you want to be considered a big girl, but you don't want to act like one.
I'm not a big girl.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
Oh.
Back in Britain, none of Bex's teachers were able to persuade her to remain in college.
Okay, so she's back in college.
Let's get started. Let's stand up. Let's pray. Put your books
That was
away.
dramatic, wasn't it?
Oh. Sister Patrice asked the pupils to deliver a short speech on the subject of greatness.
I am great because I think I am. Validity comes with self-knowledge and self-reassurance. Therefore, in knowing my worth, my greatness shines through automatically.
I am great because I have the courage and strength to be my own person, stand out from the crowd and grow into a confident man.
No.
Yes, okay, that's cute. Like that, yes.
Read it.
This is nice.
If it's well long. Right. Greatness has been pronounced over me because I was given an opportunity to start having respect for others and myself, and also to start believing in myself, and gradually it is working. For example, in England, I do what I want when I want, like I'm addicted to horse tranquilizer.
Not a 17-year-old cat queen.
It appears so.
This might explain some of the behaviours we're seeing, because a side effect of taking horse tranquilizer is difficulty relating to others. So, My goodness me. I've seen a lot of things in this episode, and we've heard a lot of things that are just so troubling and bizarre, and I'm honestly surprised that this was a show that was allowed to be made.
Bex used to be a model student. Her behaviour changed 4 years ago after a family tragedy.
My brother died like 2.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry to say and to step in here, but there is always a reason why people are the way they are.
My brother died like 2.5 weeks before my 13th birthday, and he was severely disabled, but we did get on, like, I loved him to pieces.
Bex was always very close to Jay's. Bex was there when Jay's died. And then after Jay's died, she just turned into the teenager from hell.
Sorry, but a 13-year-old witnessing a death, especially of someone they love, is a fundamentally brain-altering experience. You will not be the same person before and after. That is no wonder why she's having these experiences. And you know what? If I was a parent in this situation, I would have put everything towards therapy, and not a single iota of my time would have been entertained by putting my child dealing with these things on television.
Bex's relationship with her mum has never recovered.
I think my mum hates me, and she envies me because she does always say she wished it was me that died instead of Jamie.
Imagine a parent saying that to you. Okay. Imagine a parent saying that to you. And you are 15, 16, 17 years old. No wonder why we have this fundamental, difficult relationship here, because it's built on sand. I could not imagine
Bex has been away
my
from her
darkest time
parents for
saying
4
that to someone.
days. Time enough for her mum and dad to put their regrets in writing.
Right, okay,
We
we've got
want to
regrets.
both apologise once again from the bottom of our hearts for what we both said regarding you dying instead of Jamie. It was a horrible thing to say, and we are disgusted and embarrassed and totally ashamed by the outburst. You've been abusing your body with sex, drugs and alcohol, your own choice of which we see as a kick in the teeth. Jamie, on the other hand, didn't get a choice. He was born with cerebral palsy. You have no disability, so why abuse your body? I'm sorry, but I think that's my shittest letter ever. I'm pissed off because she just wound me up. I'm sorry, but...
Yeah, you can't apologise and then gaslight someone. Also, the words there that they used in that letter highlight a point of ignorance, I think. And, you know, it's not their fault if they don't know. This is also a show that's, 12 to 15 years old, and the conversations around mental health were not very developed then. They're still not very developed now. The idea of telling your child that you wish it was them instead of their sibling that is no longer with them, and that child is 13, 14, 15, 16 years old, and then also saying, well, you're not disabled, why are you doing this to yourself? That is fundamentally a flawed logic, because clearly this person is going through an incredibly mentally difficult time, as is evidenced by their actions, and they're a child.
She's a dickhead, I'm sorry. She could have been like, hello, darling, hope you're having a good time. We miss you loads, can't wait to have you back. And made me feel nice, and I want to go home. But instead, I might as well just stay here.
I mean, she's speaking her truth at that moment, isn't she, as a
one of the most
child?
comfortable areas of Atlanta. But Wanda and David's childhoods were anything but comfortable.
Okay.
And like Bex, Wanda suffered bereavement at an early age.
Right, so we've also got, so trauma creates trauma creates trauma. It's a cycle, right?
Is growing up without parents. My father was brutally murdered when I was 3. My mom died 18 months later. So I went to live with a grandmother who was already a senior citizen. So she provided for me and did a great job, but just that void was always there, to have that mom
So
to
now
take
we know
me
more
here,
about
that
her
dad to take me
story.
there.
I thank the God for a limit. I thank him that I can't eat all I want when I want.
David's father fell gravely ill when he was young, and the stress of caring for him and bringing up 10 children contributed to his mother's early death.
10 children.
As a
10
result,
children.
David's now passionate about being a good dad.
When it comes to parenting, I don't think there is a failure, except the failure to do all you should have done. And so with these British teenagers, we're going to do everything we can, and we're going to treat them just like they're our kids.
I do think there is something interesting about that turn of phrase. We did everything we could have done. That turn of phrase, but how do you get to decide what's good for you to do and not good for the person that you're raising? Remember, you aren't trying to raise children here. You're trying to raise well-adjusted, functional adults in society.
Just like they're our kids.
I do not believe
Just
you
a
can
few
do that
days.
with fear.
That's all we need is a few days.
Chesden has never known his father. He's close to his mother, but she's in poor health.
It's like she had an heart attack, which wasn't my fault. I don't want to sit at home looking after my sick mum.
The Kimbros called Chesden's mother to find out just how much he does to look after her.
Interesting.
Are you saying that the only job Chesden does at home is washing up the dishes, and you pay him to do that, but he doesn't do anything else?
No.
Here, I teach my sons that if there is a lady in the home, she is to be treated like a queen, and we serve her.
The Kimbros decide to teach Chesden a lesson about chores.
Well, we're gonna let you do some chores under your dad's authority.
It's not my dad. How many times? No, it's like you're trying to annoy me. You're trying to wind me up, and you're being smarmy about saying it as well.
Hey, do me a favor.
Stop saying no, that is winding me up.
Don't take me off.
It is disrespectful to say that you are someone's father when you
my dad.
You're not gonna sit at my table and talk to her like that.
You are not my dad.
I can't bear with this intimidation. If your words aren't working, why are you being so intimidating? You can tell that when the cameras are off, situations might be quite different.
My dad.
I don't care if I'm your dad. I'm not trying to be your dad. I'm being an adult that's supervising you.
I don't want you to be referred to.
Hey, I don't care what you
agree.
want at this point. You don't respect me. I don't respect you.
This isn't respectful behaviour. You're not respecting.
I don't have to talk to you in a soft, loving tone.
Yeah.
I don't care what you want
Cancel
right
the
now.
show, girly wig.
You gotta figure that out.
You don't get to do this.
Chess.
I'm going to calm off one sec.
You're going where?
I'm going to calm off.
Yeah, take yourself out of the situation.
This just shows you his level of immaturity. Yeah. Because this is not what a family unit is about. You don't just walk out and throw that person to the dog because now they've pissed you off.
Right. He talks all day.
You actually removing yourself from a highly stressful scenario to allow yourself to calm down is the best way to deal with a confronting situation like this. If you sit and you stew in your emotions, outbursts happen, and those outbursts aren't actually very good.
Because now they've pissed you off.
Right. He talks all day about what's wrong with us, but never really talks about what's wrong with him.
He's
There's
never had
nothing wrong
anybody, I
with
don't
him.
think,
That's
to get in his
obscene.
face like you've done. And he is gonna have a very hard time regrouping.
What do you think about that exchange?
It's crazy.
What was crazy about it?
I mean, all they have to do is sit here and listen. Instead, they kept on talking back and stuff. And
Well, no,
Yeah,
I
just
think there was a boundary put in there of don't call yourself my father when you aren't. That is a boundary. That is not talking back. Perfectly acceptable. How would you feel if somebody else said that to your child? You wouldn't, would you?
then just storm her out like that.
Yeah.
There's too much of a culture
I
shock
don't
here.
see shaking.
When you're in someone's face.
There's no safeguarding for these teenagers. I have not seen a single iota of safeguarding to make sure that these teenagers aren't going to come away from this experience traumatized. And the buck ultimately stops with TV executives here.
When you're in someone's face, or that's seen as threatening behaviour, and it's like, I'm not a violent person, but I was scared that I mean, there's no way I could win against him. I mean, he's a really tall, big black guy, but it's like, I was scared that I was going to do something stupid and lash out, and it just
Yeah,
ruined
'cause you
the whole
felt threatened.
experience, like, so.
It's well over an hour before Chesden is calm enough to
Why
return
is
to
no
the Kimbros.
TV people stepped in here? The police in the UK would have arrested
walked out
him,
that door.
that man, immediately.
You didn't ask for permission. You showed your immaturity.
No.
That I'm a child, and I can throw a temper tantrum. And when I get angry, I can just walk off. That's what children do. But you cross that threshold, it requires respect for my rule. You're in my home. And so if you want to stay here tonight and sleep tonight,
This
you
needs
owe
to end.
me, you owe Mrs. Kimbrough, an
You can't.
apology, both.
Unfortunately, you cannot say the only other option is for you to be homeless. You can't make a teenager homeless.
You owe Mrs. Kimbrough an apology, both of you. You don't have to agree with me, and I'm not asking you to, but you gotta respect me.
I mean, you are asking for
But one
agreement.
head in this house,
Appeasement
and that's me.
is the word.
You can't abide by that, then we're done.
Okay.
Mr. David Kimbrough is the authority of this house. He has the final word. The teen's signature does not necessarily express his or her agreement with the terms of this contract, but unequivocally denotes the teen's understanding of the rules and the consequences herein.
So that's complete
again,
nonsense.
If you're going to sleep here tonight,
complete nonsense.
You're going to apologize for your actions.
Sorry for being disrespectful.
I accept your apology. Welcome home.
Can I please go to the loo?
Yes, you may go to the loo.
I'm sorry for raising my voice and being rude in your house.
Your apologies accepted.
Okay, interesting.
Welcome home.
I don't think this is
I'm just not used to
acceptable.
confrontation, and I've never had like a dad, and so I've never had like a male presence like shouting in my face.
Well, that's also not a healthy male presence, is it?
It appears that David's words have got through to Chesden. He gets up early and completes all his household chores without complaint.
Interesting.
Chesden's obedient behaviour continues at school. Bex isn't quite so obedient. Facebook is not on the computer studies curriculum.
Oh, Facebook girl.
You know better. And you already know that.
Why is the computer, like, in the desk? That's so strange. I've never seen that
Back
before.
home, Bex has given up on her education. But
Okay.
Sister Patrice has not given up on her.
Patrice!
I need
Is
a
it not
fag,
Beatrice?
and I'm going for one.
Patrice?
I am. I'm sorry. I'm going for one. I don't care anymore.
Yes. God, what a stressful episode, Girlywigs! This might be one of the most stressful things I have ever watched on this channel. And I'd be surprised if there's any amount of audience at home still left here watching this.
We don't allow smoking on campus. We don't allow students to smoke. So she's leaving campus in order to try to do what she'd like to do. It's very unfortunate for her.
Why?
She's just continuing to destroy herself.
I see.
Why are you determined to hurt yourself?
I'm not determined to hurt myself.
Yes, you are.
Just need a fag.
No, sweetheart, you're killing yourself.
This is killing me.
I know it's hurting your feelings, but that's different.
No, it's causing mental
so why
trauma,
are you
clearly.
determined to destroy yourself?
I'm determined to destroy myself.
Yes, you are, sweetheart. You're 17 years old. You know how you're living? You're living like a person that's been out of life for quite some time.
I mean, she's
You're more worried
wrong
about
there.
me, like, and how my life's going, and then, like, the family's just worried about rules and stuff.
Now listen.
She needs therapy. She needs trauma counselling, CPTSD therapy. She does not need to be put on a TV show, sent halfway around the world to live with devout religious people. Unnecessary.
Now listen. There is a concept, whether you believe it or not, that exists called mercy. But you have got to think about the repercussions of your actions.
Mercy?
And you're not doing that.
What's that got to do with anything?
Okay, so you weren't born into this family here at Southwest Atlanta Christian Academy, but we've already accepted you. With all of your craziness and everything, do you realize that if a student smokes here, they are kicked out of school automatically? They don't have a second chance. So if you are given mercy, you've got to show your family mercy. Whether you agree or not is not important. You're still a child by law. We're trying to show you how to be a better person.
Interesting.
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, power, and glory forever. Amen. Amen.
Bex finds a new enthusiasm for school.
None of you can get the ball off me.
Okay, sport, yes.
She's
I think
a sweet
sport,
child. She really
team sports is a
It's
great
inside of
opportunity
her,
to connect.
But she doesn't necessarily see that part of her all the time. And quite often, because people might expect negativity, she gives what they expect.
Actually, I don't think that's true. I think she's been treated poorly and only knows how to react poorly because her family is also deeply traumatized by what has happened. And unfortunately, from the slight glimpse into her world that we've seen from this, it seems like her family have taken it out on her. And what is she meant to do? A child. So no, I will not agree with this instance of annotation.
She gives what they expect. When you don't expect negativity, it's amazing how positivity can reign.
Chesden's second day at school has been an extremely positive experience. He's applied himself, stayed out of trouble, and won plenty of friends.
He's really funny, and he's been keeping me laughing since he's gotten here, so I kind of don't want him to leave.
Okay, that's
Gave it a
sweet.
chance.
Connections,
And
yes,
that's all we
very
asked
good.
this morning is that you give it a chance, not throw in the towel, you know, not be rude, be disobedient, just give it a chance. And you did, and that's really, really great. I am so proud of
Thank you for
So
that.
proud of you.
Interesting, right.
Today we went to school and everyone's just really, really respectful. And I know it sounds so sad, but unless you've come here and experienced it for yourself, you don't know what it's like. And it's like, you can just feel the love, you know what I mean?
Oh dear, are we seeing
Tonight,
a cult
Sister
work in
Patrice
action?
has set some homework to compose a poem about invisibility.
Oh.
The Kimbro's house rules require all grades to be B+ or higher. So Wanda asked to read Bex's poem before it's submitted.
Interesting.
Oh,
this is your poem?
Yeah.
Wow.
Right, we have a poem now.
Oh, don't start out by saying it's rubbish. I put on a mask. The fake Bex, but the true Bex is still here. I'm just hiding. Devil Bex came about 4 years ago, and she hasn't gone away. I'm scared that the true Bex is not only gone invisible, but is going to disappear forever. I didn't expect that. Wow.
Yes, see, she needs like a qualified psychotherapist, doesn't she?
Pretty powerful, huh?
Ongoing trauma therapy.
I don't even think you realize what you wrote.
And I know that I do wrong, and some things there saying you shouldn't do this. And I see the effects I have on people.
Is that you really do care. You care about life, you care about people. And I really believe that you mean that when you say, I'm only concerned about today. I'm just living for today. I just want to have a good time. But I'm also very excited to know that somewhere deep in your conscience, you know that it's something greater than that. And that is so very hopeful to me. That's brilliant.
I've got issues, and I.
Oh, okay.
Bex
Yes,
is starting
I think
to
there are
rethink
issues there that need a greater delicacy, right? Can we all agree there that she needs a professional?
Bex is starting to rethink her life back home.
Right.
Now I can see I'm like a daughter from hell. I was like such a cow. I like no respect whatsoever. Done what I want when I played. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, everything was about me, and I didn't take into.
You were
like,
a child, though. You're
account
allowed
other
everything
people's
to be about
feelings.
you.
That's more than I could have ever asked for. And I fought those tears with everything. I mean, I literally felt my guts
So we have
shaking.
some humanity coming through, because it's true.
It was
right?
very
dark,
overwhelming to
Very
me
dark.
because I feel as though in some big way that we have made an impact in just this short period of time.
Is that true? I mean, perhaps.
Now she's starting her 6th day with the Kimbros. Obeying the rules is becoming second nature to Bex.
I'm very, very impressed. Thank you so much for
I find it strange that this show is still going around the idea that this is a great option, this is a great show, this is a great opportunity. I fundamentally do not agree. These teenagers need professional therapy, not reality TV.
Very impressed. Thank you so much for getting up this morning and walking in obedience. I really appreciate that.
Sister Patrice calls Wanda into the school for a meeting about the homework.
We had a chance to grade them, and I wanted to let you know that both of them received an A on their points.
That's terrific.
Okay.
I just finished talking to Sister Patrice about school, about homework. She was ecstatic about your poems.
Okay, good.
But what you
This is
don't know
positive.
is
We're
that
having
you both got an
positivity
A
here in
on those
today.
points.
Wait, I got an A. That's my first A I've ever even got in my life.
That is spectacular. So I was really proud. I know that is
Okay,
fantastic.
that's okay.
1, 2.
To make them be proud of me.
I still don't like the
makes
intimidation
me feel
tactics.
happy.
Absolutely not.
Just being here, like going to school and hearing that they want to be like lawyers and stuff, it's like, wow. Whereas me, fell into the wrong crowd.
Yes.
And
that
then
is-
just my goal, just like my dream just went out the window.
That's very true. That is something that happens.
After 6 full days on the Kimbros' private estate, David and Wanda decide to give the British teens a change of scene.
Right.
It's an opportunity for David to reveal that, like Chesden, his childhood was blighted by parental illness.
Okay.
We have an old saying here in the United
This
States
is
that
beau-
you
where-
don't
where
miss
is
the
this?
well
This is beautiful.
until the water run dry.
Yeah.
You become so complacent and you're so used to going to that well every day and getting water out of it and drinking and refreshing yourself that you don't take time to appreciate it. You don't even take time to thank God for the well. And I think a lot of times we do our parents that way. We overlook the sacrifices and all the things they're doing for us.
No, I think we just need to find the right balance, because it's like my mum does so much for me, and it's like I don't do hardly anything, you know.
You need therapy, don't you?
Like, it's nothing compared
therapy
to what she
girls!
does for me.
Therapy girls!
If you don't go back home and change and become the Chesden that she has raised and been trying to strategically place on the right road, you will look back on your life when she's gone and say, I wish I had done more for Mom.
Well, he's got him
that
there.
feeling will torment you beyond anything you can imagine. When you get home, man, you should treat your mom like the queen she is.
I mean, it's abjectly hard, isn't it, as well, to change that kind of thing that you've grown up in. Going back to that environment with the same things happening and nobody else has changed, it's just him, puts the responsibility of changing the whole situation onto him, a child. I don't think that that is ethical to expect a child to take responsibility for such a dire situation. Do you? Maybe I'm way off the mark here. Maybe I'm way off the mark with that opinion. I want to say
Wanda
it's Yosemite,
decides to
but I
open
don't
up
think
to
that's
Bex
true.
about her own childhood.
Yosemite. I like saying it though.
By the time I was 5 and I started kindergarten, both my parents were already deceased. So any relationship that can be salvaged, especially between a mom and a daughter, is really important to me. Really important to me. There are days that I just want a hug or to hold my mom's hand.
3 sons?
My teenage years, I mean, I've gone through my entire life with this huge void in my heart. You have your mom, and I don't want you to throw that away.
It's not her throwing it away, though, is it? Let's be honest. If your mother turns around and says to you, I wish you died over your sibling, what are you meant to do with that? The conversation is happening to the wrong person. Very emotional.
You've had probably the worst life I've known. Like, anybody I know, like the worst one, and yet you still smile every day. And just such an inspiration to me.
I made a choice. I made a choice that I wasn't going to allow all of the things that I felt were so unfair to me in life make me be a terrible person.
Okay, right. I think that's actually
and I feel
very
like if
commendable.
anybody has excuses, I have legitimate excuses, but I've chosen to throw them all on the ground, jump up and down on them, and say, you know what? No excuse is good enough.
It doesn't define me.
None.
Can completely agree with that.
So you don't have any excuses.
I mean,
do you have a desire to give up
trauma
drugs?
is not an excuse.
I'm not touching drugs.
You're not going to touch them anymore?
Okay.
Wow.
You need to change
Drugs
your
just
friendship
mess your life
circle.
up so much. I'm stronger than that, and I know I don't need drugs. Thank you so much.
That is a positive outcome. Come on, girly wigs. More positivity. See, this level of exchange of information to love and grow is what's
she's gone
needed.
through that is just unreal, and for her to still, I said to her, still smile every day.
You know, like, this is so strong about God and Christianity, but I think that, you know, I know they're excessive with it, but I think it's a good thing, because if she didn't have God, could you imagine what she'd be like?
I honestly do look up to her in so many
Well,
ways.
there's a difference between a personal relationship with a deity of choice
She said she just wanted one to
and using that to inflict
hold her
power.
hand. It's like, I've got my mum, and I don't appreciate her at all, and now I will.
Interesting.
Bex
Right,
and
what's the
Chez's time
culmination?
with the Kimbros
The
is
culmination,
almost at
girls!
an end. But it's not quite over yet.
What's this? What? Why are they back? Surprise,
the Kimbros
girly wig!
have invited the entire church congregation to a surprise party in honour of Chez and Bex.
Oh, how awful. I feel like, no, thank
with my
you.
mum. I think
A large
let's be a
sudden
lot more
gathering.
respectful. Jesus, he seems all right. I might look him up when I get back in England.
See, insidious.
Do you reckon he's in Yellow Pages?
We worship you.
It has
Community
been
is
an
necessary,
amazing
though.
honor to parent Chesden. I was very skeptical about having an openly gay 16-year-old in my home. But I understand now that that was mainly because of my ignorance and because of my fears.
Okay, personal growth
Bex,
around
I really
acceptance
hope that
of others.
in sharing my personal life struggles with her,
That's the best
that
option right
in
now,
her
really.
quiet moments, that she really thinks about some of the things that I've told her.
Gonna sort my life out and like make an effort with my mum because I realised that mums are really important and I shouldn't disrespect her. I'm gonna have respect for myself, so I'm not gonna like do the drugs anymore. She don't need them, so I've had fun without them. And then just get my life on track and start again.
Willpower and self-preservation, girly wig. You can do it, girl. All right, what do we
The
have here?
teens
Gosh, look
now
at the
have the
difference.
chance to make a new start back home.
Crazy. Right,
It
yes.
has changed me. I should be doing a lot more compared to what you do for me. I'm going to start doing more stuff around the house for you, start looking after you.
The way things were before, I think I'd have been in an early grave with him. I can see the change, a big change.
So there is a change. Well, I mean, it is still reality TV and they're selling a storyline, aren't they? I can't believe you told your daughter that.
Have we left the horrible Bex behind?
Yeah.
Yeah, got rid of her in the Atlantic?
Yeah.
Oh, good, good, good.
Right, well, that was a lot, my lovelies. And do you know what? I've got some final thoughts. I've shared lots of opinions in this video today, and I think you're probably going to share a lot in the comments as well. I will be living in the comments of this video because there are some particular things that have mirrored my life in multiple different ways that I have had a visceral reaction to here. And at the end of the day, I'm only human and I might get it wrong myself. I'm gonna say though, I do not think that putting these teens on a reality TV show program was perhaps the right option in dealing with their complex PTSD. I actually think that perhaps a year, 2 years, 3 years worth of therapy with professionals may have provided a much more well-rounded management system for them to improve their quality of lives. Well, my lovelies, let me know what you think about what we've seen in today's episode in the comments box below, because this was so different to the first episode. In a similar vein to don't hate the sinner, hate the sin, don't hate the religious, hate the religion. And with that, my lovelies, it's time for the Patreons. You can see yourself scrolling past on the screen right here. Today's Luxeria Labs subscriber shout out goes to Nisha. Thank you so much for subscribing to my second channel here on YouTube, Luxeria Labs, which is my photography and travel channel. And it honestly gives me a beautiful creative outlet in life to deal with the complexities of being a human being on this earth. If you want to be in with a chance of being featured in my next videos, subscriber shout out, make sure you subscribe to Luxeria Labs. It is pinned in the comments below. And as always, my lovelies, I want to say a massive thank you to my top tier Patreons: Jojo, Orkos Emoji, Ari Adia X, Becky Johnson, Cameron Pittman, Shell Herman, ContraPoints, Finch Dunham, James A. Zengirl, Jenny Wood, Leanne Jones, Lenore, Les Banana, Mo Sherman, Morgan Lethay, Miss Kiss, Paula Rivera, Radhika Madala, Samael, Skydorim, Steph Utek, and TNS Mum. Do you know what, my loves? I haven't really got any final thoughts for this episode, except that here's my child, Biscuit. Ah, he made a new papa boy. Yay!